Hey everybody, it's the Dynamite Show. Paul Fontaine, Jeff Hawkins here on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel, checking in about 10 minutes after Dynamite ended. I noticed some people waiting in the chat already. That's always great to see. Fernando, John.
Names are back. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Yeah, AEW is fired tonight. You know what? I agree. So we got a fun show to look back on. There's a few things on this show that I absolutely loved. And we'll get into it because there's stuff that I've wanted from this company, well, any company really, and I got it tonight. And
I'm still getting over you. Are you caught up on Wrestling Observer Radio?
Yeah.
And I think this was on the show you were on actually on Saturday. Yes, Paul was on.
Yeah, I was on the whole show actually.
Yes, where Dave said that AEW has too many angles. And I kind of went, what?
No, that was on Monday's show that he said that.
Okay, yeah.
So, no, because what he said was, I think what he said was somebody said that AEW, all they do is matches. They don't tell enough stories. They don't have enough angles. And then Dave said, AEW has too many angles. There's too many to keep track of.
Yeah, no, he's wrong on that. But okay, let's get to your news.
All right. Checking it. Hey, Plethora, good to see you. Always.
We anxiously await your question.
Yeah. Actually, we don't have any side bets on what you're going to ask this week.
No, we don't. This week.
Yeah. So we. I guess what I wanted to talk about, and this is kind of nonsense, but there's no real news anyway, so I figured I might as well bring it up here. And This is Safe Company. So I'm assuming you did not watch Collision.
Oh. No, I did not. No, before we get to the
I'm gonna ask this now. Okay.
All right.
So Plethora asks, can you believe that a no-brainer Hall of Fame candidate was not voted first ballot because voters let personal feelings cloud judgment? But enough about Roman Reigns and the Wrestling Observer News Hall of Fame. Well played.
Much yeah. Actually, it's first ballet, but ballet has an O in there, my friend. But no,
he's talking about Bill Belichick.
No, yeah, but the parallels are kind of amazing because
I will full disclosure here. I think you know this. I don't know if Plethora knows this. I am an Observer voter, and I did not vote for Roman first ballot, second ballot. I didn't vote for him until the year before he got in.
Yeah.
He was not a Hall of Famer when he was first on the ballot.
No, okay, but
yeah,
it's one of those things where one voice in the room can sway votes.
Oh yes, but that's not what happened here.
Dave did this with it kind of is with Belichick.
Is it? Okay.
Well, it's one very loud voice in Bill Polian. Who was the Colts general manager, and the Colts and the Patriots back when Brady and Deflategate and all that other stuff. But I mean, Peter King of Sports Illustrated, later Sunday Night Football,
I saw that.
Used to get up in the room and rail against Art Monk of the formerly Washington Redskins to not get in the Hall of Fame because he was mean to him when Peter King was.
But he was all over this one.
Oh yeah,
Peter King. Did you see that?
Oh yeah. It is a no-brainer that a man that wins that many Super Bowls. But I also give credence to Hall of Fame voters for not voting for even people where it wasn't proven to be cheating, but they were cheating. See the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay, in this case, it was proven, and he was punished. And the fact is, the NFL itself didn't ban him. They didn't suspend him from any games. So if they decided that the punishment was what it was, then I don't think that you can turn around and say, well, he can't go in the Hall of Fame because of that. And if that was the case, then they wouldn't. Then don't put him on the ballot.
They're not going to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. They're just saying you don't get it. You don't get in this first year.
And what if he dies between now and
that's what year? I'm thinking too. Yeah. And I'm just like, no.
Hopefully he doesn't. God, heaven forbid. But I mean, he's not a young man.
I mean, yeah,
Was he 73?
He has a very young girlfriend. And,
he does, and that can tire you out. Heart Attack City there. Heart Attack Jones.
You know what? I was just gonna let viewers imagine the joke, and you just ran into it.
Yeah, well, I've watched Body of Evidence one too many times.
Oh, but Yeah,
which is once.
but it's also one of those things where like Dave with Sting, I remember it's like, well, I'm just one vote. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Then everybody just stops voting.
I mean, when they do these year-end awards shows, and you have Dave and John Pollock and Ethan Tyler and I think it was Corey Lieb, and going through their ballots, and every one of them is picking the exact same person for every single award. It's like the listeners are like, well, I guess I better vote for that guy.
Yeah, you know I mean? There is a peer pressure thing to it. It's like nobody wants to be the guy that stands up and goes, "This is wrong." Everybody, oh no, we're all in this mob together. Give me a pitchfork and some torches. Come on.
And there is a difference between this and Mariano Rivera, or Derek Jeter. I mean, you could make a case that Derek Jeter's not a Hall of Famer. You'd be wrong, but I mean, I'd listen to you.
I'm thinking there's no case that Barry Bonds here, because Bonds wasn't officially.
Well, no, but the problem is with Bonds, that one is more like, okay, he's been tried and convicted in the public court.
Yes, and that's always wrong.
The only reason him and Clemens and Sosa are not in the Hall of Fame is because of that. Canseco and McGuire, I don't think they're borderline on merit. But they're not surefire no-brainers like
Canseco's nowhere near it. McGuire has Maris's record, so you kind of...
Yeah, but that's 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, is Maris in the Hall of Fame?
Look, Roger Maris.
Is he? I'm not even sure. Yeah, you must be right. T.O.
But look, there are border. I mean, there are people who don't deserve to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame too. I mean, every Hall of Fame has a week. Yeah. Tinkers to Evers to Chance. All three of those guys are in there.
Paul Henderson scored the most famous goal in hockey history, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. And he was a decent NHL player too. But then again, Paul Henderson is the first one to tell you that he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. So, if I had a vote, he'd be in.
Let's say your thing for silly season.
Okay, please. So you didn't watch Collision, right?
I did not watch Collision.
I see Lady B's entered the chat. She knows what I'm getting at here. So towards the end of the show, I'm about a half hour behind, so I'm fast forwarding through commercials, and I fast forward, and I see this woman, and I think, okay, it's a commercial, and then all of a sudden I see Jamie Hayter in the scene with this woman, and I was like, oh, this is part of the show. So I rewind it back, and I watch this segment. And this woman is talking to somebody who I know is Jamie Hayter because I fast forwarded ahead. And then they're talking about, I don't remember what exactly was said, but the gist of it by the end of this segment is they're going to be a tag team. And at first I thought, is she talking to like a psychiatrist or like a therapist or something? And then I realized, oh no, it's going to be her partner. And then, wait a minute, is that Alex Windsor? Like, I wasn't sure. So I put it into our Discord in the show chat, the thread, was that Alex Windsor? I don't recognize her. I haven't seen her in a while. Nobody answers because nobody's watching Collision and on Saturday night. So then the next day, somebody posts in the general chat, they post a link to the segment on Twitter. And in the segment, it's identified Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter, meet up. They're going to go after the tag team titles. I can't remember how it's worded. And I was like, I responded. I said, oh, that was Alex Windsor. Okay, I didn't recognize her last night. I said, it would have been nice if they would have identified her.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarez.
Oh my God. Did that start a shitstorm?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, how did you want them to identify her? They're not going to use graphics in a segment like that. I was like, no, but like she could have said her
name.
Why
not? Hold on. Why not use bugs in it and put one in there and say Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter?
If you saw it, you would know a graphic would have looked out of place in this segment. Trust me.
All right.
But the announcers could have pitched to it. Not only that, when the segment was over, the announcers just went on with the show. They did not address it. They did not say, oh, nice to hear from Alex Windsor. We'll see. When the show was over, I wasn't sure who that was. It wasn't until 24 hours later when someone mentioned in the thread who it was. Now, it's not a huge issue. It did not affect my enjoyment. No, it's not.
But I'm sorry. The knee-jerk... Well, you want everything spoon-fed?
Right? Okay, I heard this so much. There are people posting memes. Anakin or Darth Vader in a graphic. Darth Vader, a.k.a. Anakin Skywalker. Do you want that in the Star Wars movie? I'm like, no. But you know what happened when Darth Vader entered the screen the first time in New Hope? Somebody says Lord Vader. Yes. because nobody knew who he was until then.
Wrestling fans are the worst. I love you guys, but overall, like I had the board on F4. One of the worst people imaginable.
One of the comments I saw today was, I wish these podcasters would watch real movies and TV shows and review them. I'm like, first of all, do you have any idea how much real TV and movies I watch? Secondly,
do you know what kind of notes people get on scripts?
Secondly, point me to the TV show. Point me to the TV show where a character is not mentioned. Their name is not mentioned for the entire episode. So somebody says to me, the smoking man was not mentioned for 11 seasons. His name. I'm like, no, but he was the smoking man. That's all that matters. That's his name. The smoking man. We don't care that his name is Joe Smith. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter.
Bob the smoking man. No. Yeah.
and then somebody said, in the show Andor, Cassian's sister is never identified in the course of the show. No, because it doesn't matter what her name is. Her name is Cassian's sister. That's it. It doesn't matter. And if they didn't tell me Alex Windsor's name, I assume that doesn't matter either. Oh. So by the time we get through all this, what they finally concluded was, well, this wasn't really part of the show. It was a teaser.
No. my brain hurts.
Okay.
Trying to realize the pretzel logic these people are putting themselves in to yell at you.
So imagine my delight. Imagine my delight when Jason, our friend Jason, who will pop in maybe here, but I know he listens. He sends me a tweet that Vinny had made, and it shows Patrick Mahomes being interviewed at the Super Bowl, and it says Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. This is his 5th Super Bowl. He has a 3-1 record. You know, like all this information, and he's the most famous player in the NFL. And they put a graphic up for him.
There's a difference between just basically acknowledging the character that's on screen and the Dave Meltzer reaction when he mentions someone midway in a story in The Observer and he decides to give that person's entire biography from conception to death before moving on to the point he wanted to make. Okay?
Alex Windsor, fancy running into you here. Hater could have said, Alex, let's do this. Yeah.
Hey,
or again, after the segment, Excalibur or whoever was announcing could have said, hey, great to hear from Alex Windsor. We haven't heard from her since she beat. Now get this. When's the last time we saw Alex Windsor?
It was was it the tag tournament?
Nope. It's when she beat Mercedes Moné for whatever title she beat her for.
Oh, that's right.
She disappeared.
Yes.
So we have not seen her since she won that title.
She disappeared at the same time as Will, right? Because they just decided to convalesce together, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's because they were in England. That's the only reason she was even on the show.
Yeah.
She hasn't been on a regular on the show for like probably 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay. So when a character hasn't been on the show for 3 or 4 months as a regular, you might want to identify them. You may have picked up a new fan or two along the way, you know. Anybody that's never seen the show before had no idea who this woman was.
No, that's the guy from season 1, episode 4. He was in the background of the bakery. And if you didn't see, good Lord.
Remember that whole thing about there was like a picture in the background of a BTE
There's an entire character on The Simpsons for you. He's called Comic Book Guy.
There you go. Yeah. Jeez. And then we got into a discussion, and I found some people like me, you know, like The Sopranos was tough to watch on first watch because they had so many characters and they didn't always tell you who they were.
Be nicer to people in terms of pop culture questions and stuff. It's like
the whole thing was, I just said, you know what? They could have identified her. That's it. Leave it alone. Make fun of me for not recognizing her. That's fine. You know, like, I probably should have recognized her. I've seen her maybe 10 times.
Because she was such a huge star on AEW television before she left.
Well, she did win a title the last time we saw her, but I'd forgotten about that too. So, here we go. John forgot who she was too and watched regularly. He's not TK. He's not a robot. So yeah, Vinny said, I'd heard about the promo, but if I hadn't heard about the promo, I wouldn't have recognized her. And then Brian went off about graphics. And, you know, so
this is why people yell at podcasters, because they think we're as obsessed as they are about remembering things. And it's like, guys,
I take notes.
We take notes. We watch.
Yeah.
And then we come to entertain.
The other big news today, and you know, this will be in the show recap, but Tommaso Ciampa. He left WWE. He had announced it on social media, and the way he worded it, I thought that he was taking a time off and he wasn't going to be wrestling anymore. I thought maybe he can spend some time with his family, whatever. Not going back to WWE. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they wouldn't have made him an offer to re-sign, I guess. Or maybe they did and he turned it down.
They did. I am guessing.
You think they lowballed him?
No, I'm guessing he had hit his ceiling there.
Yeah.
And I'm also guessing
that's true. That's true.
And there's a lot more international travel with WWE than there is with AEW. And he has a family.
Yeah, that's true. And he can do Japan if he wants to.
Yeah. But it seemed like it was one of those things where it was like I thought he was gonna go away for a while and just kind of do things. But to me, it makes sense in two ways. If he has a family and he doesn't want to travel that much, AEW is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
and he's got the history with Ring of Honor and with a lot of the
guys. And PWG because that's who he likes to collect. Tony likes to collect his PWG.
Yeah, so I was in favor of it. I'm often critical of some of the AEW signings. Like I don't think they needed to sign the Rascals. We'll see how they do. I was in favor of Price and Oliver. And there was a woman they just signed that I was in favor of too. I can't remember who it was.
Was it Zeta Steel?
No, but
it's the giant woman.
Yeah. But Zeta Steel's another one where I think it's a good idea that they signed her, but I'm just worried that she's not going to continue to work indies and improve. And I think
the real benefit of Tommaso Ciampa is he knows how to get heat.
Yes.
In
both
a company
ways, as a babyface or a heel.
Yes. In a company that has performers that while they're very good wrestlers, they don't really understand the psychology of getting heat. I think. I'm not saying, oh, they don't know anything. No, they know enough.
Mm-hmm.
But Ciampa in WWE, and especially in the black and gold NXT, knew how to play an audience.
Yeah.
And I think that will be too bad. Now, I think he has a limited ceiling, I would guess.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But you know what? You know what the difference is? The most of the people that are there now, like even the top guys, they know how to get a reaction from a crowd.
Yes.
Ciampa knows how to work a crowd.
Yes. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Keep that for tomorrow, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing Shake Them Ropes tomorrow. We'll get to that plug later. But yeah, no, that's perfect right there, what you just said.
Okay, there you go. Now I have two questions for you about it. Number one, did you know and were you surprised when he showed up?
Yes, I was surprised. No, I did not know.
Yeah, me neither. And I'm very happy that I wasn't spoiled. Oftentimes we will hear about things ahead of time, and sometimes they get made public and sometimes they don't. And this one, I had no idea. I
liked not knowing. I was like, okay, who is this guy? You saw the thing. Don't like his music that much, but I assume the Talking Heads is way too much to buy the license for.
There's that, and then there's even the one he used in ROH for a little while. I guess they couldn't use that either. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't that. We might get used to that one. What?
Okay, yeah.
The reaction came when Psycho Killer came on the screen.
Yes,
that's when people oh shit. But even then they did the wide pan, and I think people still until they closed in, they weren't quite sure. Is that really Ciampa? Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of that gear, but it can improve. It's one of those things where it just look weird. Yeah. I like him a lot. I think it was weird the first time I ever saw him in a WWE ring, not the NXT, but you remember when they had that snow gear and he got brought up and he still had the mohawk too. And he looked so small compared to whoever he was in. He looked almost like, a mini compared to the wrestler he was in there with.
He fit in there better by the end.
Yes, he did. And it was because he shaved his head.
Shaved his head and he put on a bit of bulk. He became less shredded. Yeah.
Yeah.
our friend Pathor says he's got to be up there in age and seems like a Collision regular. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's going to end up as a Collision regular. I think the best use of him might even be Ring of Honor, like, especially if they get a TV deal. Like,
you're
he
not
could be
signing a guy like that to be a main event champion necessarily. You're signing him to be a veteran presence to help some of these young guys, especially too.
Okay, so this is the point I was going to ask you next. Because remember, I said I had 2 questions, and Thor makes it right here. WWE traded Ciampa for Hobbs. Seems like both guys now are in the right company. So I was going to say, is this not like the perfect trade? I mean, I know it wasn't a trade, but if you could do a trade, like this would be the exact kind of trade you'd make.
If I was going to do this trade and I was AEW, I would have asked for Gargano and Candice too.
What?
Even though Candice is in the right place. Well, they don't use Candice for anything.
No, but I was going to say all 3 or just those 2 and not.
Well, just no, all 3.
Okay.
Because Gargano and Ciampa were just going to be that gatekeeping either babyface or heel team in the SmackDown tag division.
Okay, well then you know what?
Fighting with the machine guns.
I'll give you Gargano and Candice, but you got to give me the Gun Brothers.
No, that's too much.
Really?
I'm not doing that. No. Hobbs has such upside in that company because he's a.
So you think he's worth a 3 for 1?
2.5.
Okay, all right. Carlman joined in. Nice to see you. He thinks AEW got fleeced. And he also points out, and I've made this point, I think, Mercedes dropped the belts on either Collision or on Dynamite on New Year's when the least amount of people would see it. Don't forget ROH pay-per-view. And then none of the women who win those belts get any TV time.
Correct.
Yes.
Because Tony really has no interest in booking the women. He just does it so people don't yell at him.
To be fair, I don't think that was Mercedes' decision.
No, it was
not. That paints Mercedes in a bad light, and I don't believe
Tony thinking he could pop a rating on a New Year's by putting his biggest female star on there, and it's like, no, people don't watch wrestling during the holidays when they're around family because they don't want their family to yell at them. That's pretty much.
What women are you going to attach to the trade when AEW does a salary dump trade of Britt Baker? Hey, I was on the Garrett and I did Royal Rumble predictions, and she was my surprise pick for the Women's Rumble.
It's not the worst pick in the world.
Yeah, my men's one was Evil or Sinister.
I'll give you Rob's. Rob, who's recording some audio.
Is this one you told me?
No, he said he thinks Goldberg is going to show up.
That'd be cool. I had Jericho in the Rumble, but I didn't consider him a surprise because I think that's almost a guarantee. And I have him at number 30, but not winning. So, all right, that's our 30 seconds of WWE talk.
Okay, here we go.
And yeah, we got a few more people joining us. The heat is on. Good to see you. Neoz RKH. He's fired up about Psycho Killer. Tommaso Ciampa. I am as well. I'm a big, as an ROH historian, I am a big guy. I'm a big guy for Tommaso Ciampa. All right. So we open with Rocky Romero and Kenny Omega. Now this is funny because they open up and they long shot of the ring kind of. And then I hear the fans chanting Kenny, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden his music starts up, and I'm like, how did they know that Kenny's match was going to be first? And then we see Rocky Romero waiting in the ring, so he got the jobber entrance off camera. And
the Italian Stallion is in there waiting for whoever.
Yeah. And he proceeded to get his ass beat. This wasn't quite Sunny Kiss, but it wasn't far off. I mean, this is as close to a complete and 100% squash as you're going to get. In
Sunny Kiss in ages. What are you doing?
I've heard it 3 times in the last 24 hours because that's what people wanted from this match. Believe it or not, because they remembered the Kenny Omega Sunny Kiss match, which was a awesome moment in AEW history. I was hoping for Samoa Joe and John Cruz, but you know, Kenny just beat the hell out of him and got a win with a one-winged angel. And then he cuts a promo. And Tony Schiavone is in the ring, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, "What the hell are you wearing?" And Taz says, "Who dressed that guy?" I laughed. He's wearing the brightest as possible yellow tie you could have, as well as bright yellow shoes.
Yes,
They just do not fit on Tony Schiavone. But he congratulates Kenny on being in top wrestling shape. He says he's now one of the 4 contenders. He proceeds to name... Okay.
Stop!
Okay.
So, in logical storytelling, this win, this absolute squash match,
Rocky's a legend,
over Rocky Romero, elevated him to a top 4. What are we doing? Come on, man! Just say, the committee has put you there, or whatever. Or this is just.
For a second, I thought the rankings were back because he mentioned
Tony was overhyping this win to tell that this win put him in the top 4, and I just go, you are so full of it, right?
But not just the top 4. Apparently, they're all tied for the top 4. I believe is what he said. And like, is there some mysterious ranking going? And then like, I didn't even know who this top 4 is. He starts rattling off a bunch of names. He's talking about they're being tied at the top of the heap. He starts to talk about this match is going to lead to that match is going to lead to one-on-one in Australia is going to lead to I had no idea what the hell this dude was talking about. Exactly. Like, here's where we needed graphics. Like we needed like a thing.
We need a flow chart or something.
I think like Tony Khan was probably like flooding this information into his ear, and he was trying to like spew it out.
Yes, that's exactly what. Here's your promo, Tony. Go up and say this. Blah, 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 blah. It's like get out of my ear.
So I think all it is that okay, tonight it's going to be Swerve and Andrade. The winner is going to face Kenny next week.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of that is going to face somebody in Australia, but I don't know who that is. Is that Hangman?
I think so.
Okay, but I don't know. And does Hangman have to beat someone to get into that match? I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't understand what's happening, but all I know is this is leading to a match in Australia, MJF defending against somebody. So it's not going to be the 4-way that everyone thought, which I like. I would rather it be a one-on-one, but I'm very confused about what's going to happen here. So hopefully somebody's going to explain it. Maybe Brody King, maybe Brody and Hangman are going to wrestle, and the winner of that's going to face Kenny. I don't know. No, the winner of that's going to face somebody in Australia, and the winner of that's going to face Kenny. I think.
I think what it is the winner of Kenny and Andrade. Is going to face Hangman, and then the winner of that is going to face.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
And then maybe, well, we'll get to this later, but MJF and Brody are going to have a non-title match. Maybe Brody wins that, and then MJF actually defends the title at Grand Slam against.
No, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
that could happen. I don't think it will.
Because the Hangman and probably Omega one is going to be for whoever fights at Revolution.
Correct. Yeah. So that's, I mean, and I think the match we're supposed to want is Kenny and MJF at Revolution. I think.
You think?
Yeah. So Kenny says, and I should point out here, Kenny is winded from this 2-minute squash of Rocky Romero.
He's back in wrestling shape.
Now, I know Kenny. I think the angle here is he's not really winded, but he's selling that he's winded because I think part of this, I'm ready, I'm back, and I'm in my best shape. In storyline is him convincing himself that he is, but he isn't really. Kenny is a very psychological guy, and I can see him doing that.
Look, I'm fine for that. You just have to tell me that story. You can't just have him tell the story on his own. If he had given some sort of self-deprecation, well, not quite yet.
No, I think he's overcompensating because he went from, oh, my back hurts, I can barely move, to I feel great.
I understand that, Paul, but what I'm saying is it's kind of the opposite of the Alex Windsor problem. You can't tell a story.
And the announcers are just going with Kenny's line. You look great. You're the best you've ever been, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. But he says, I haven't felt this good in years. This is supposed to be the place where the best wrestle. If I didn't feel like I belonged at the top, I wouldn't have put my name in for a shot at the title. So whether it's someone I hate, like Don Callis, one of his family members, or someone I love, this is just business, and I will become the heavyweight champion of the world. So Hangman's music hits. He comes out with a mic. Hangman was a little rough here. He was back to being Hangman, not promo of the year Hangman. He says, Kenny, you look good. Truth be told, after all these years, I'd rather be fighting beside you than fighting against you. But with the world championship at stake, Kenny, then so be it. I made a mistake as world champion looking past Samoa Joe. I thought month after month, I thought about defending against you. I did. But because of Hook and because of a kick to the balls by MJF, I lost that title, no chance to regain it. But this time's different. And as much fire and passion as you have now, you will not be the next champion. And the next champion is not going to be Andrade, and it's not going to be Swerve. The next champion is going to be Hangman Adam Page. I maybe gave it too much emotion there. And then all of a sudden, whose house hits, and out comes Swerve. Now he says, now excuse me for sounding like a damn broken record. I came back to AEW for World Championship. Since I came back, I've not been pinned. I'm undefeated. I wasn't even pinned in that 4-way. So I have as much right at the World Championship as you do. He's looking at Kenny as he says this. Now, my mission remains the same. I'm going to come back and get that World Championship. As the most dangerous man in AEW, I don't care who I have to stomp out, ravage, and go through to get what I want. It can be against anybody, and I do mean anybody. And he gets right in Kenny's face. And Kenny's like, yo, Swerve, I fancy myself with being astute at reading the room. And as much as Hanger and I have our eyes on this belt, I feel a little animosity here. And as much as you want that belt, you're looking for a fight. And Swerve smiles and he says, yeah, oh, Kenny, more than you know. And they're interrupted by Don Callis. I got something important to say. Well, Swerve, playa. I hear you talking about.
I'm glad you caught the playa too, because that made me howl.
Yeah. Callis was great tonight. Him riding Nana was unreal. I hear you talking about your undefeated streak. Well, enjoy it, because you don't have much longer till Andrade pins you tonight and ends that little undefeated streak. And little Kenny, Daddy's here to tell you, Kenny, when Andrade beats Swerve, he's coming after you. And Hangman, baby, I haven't forgotten about you either. I got a little something special in mind for you and all of you who thought you could come out here and do business and not understand that the Don Callis family runs this show. Kenny interrupts him, and he's like, yo. Funny you talk about Swerve. Hangman and I have to worry about. Maybe, just maybe, you should have been worrying about yourself. And he runs after Callis and chases him to the back, and Hangman and Swerve just kind of follow him. And that was that. So we got like a 2-minute match and like a 15-minute promo segment, which is very unlike AEW, but I liked it.
It was okay. I have an issue. I don't like passive-aggressive Kenny.
Okay.
It always feels like he's toying too much with his attitude towards a feud, and it drives me nuts because it's just like, I just want him to look at Swerve and go, do you have a problem with me? Because it feels heelish the way he approaches Swerve on this. Just a little, don't you think? Just a little bit. Oh, you know,
we've been saying that Swerve might be turning heel, like in some of the stuff he's been doing, but I was almost wondering during this thing, could Kenny go back to Callis?
No.
I mean, he shouldn't. I'm not saying, like, I'm just, what is that where this is going, is what I'm saying, because he chased him, but he didn't catch him.
To me,
and Callis did say he has a surprise for Hangman. We never learned what that was.
Oh God, no! Don't put that in my head. Now I got to think about it. I still think Hangman and Swerve are going heel, but not with Callis. I think we're finally gonna have some heels that aren't with Callis.
More like kind of like almost like the Death Riders are right now, like half and half heels. Like,
and you know what else he said? He said that they're still on a recruitment trip. So, God, I hope not. I just hope it's.
John asked who the babyface is with the 4 contenders against heel champion. I think it's Andrade, who's actually a heel. By the end of the show,
these guys are assholes.
Yeah,
you're exactly right.
Yeah. We got a video package for Tekla and Statlander. It was mainly just a promo with Harley talking. Then Stat had a good line. He said, you did the easy line of live long and prosper. Well, I say to you, live short and die. This is real nice. Willow said, if you guys show up, we're going to rip the faces off your Sisters of Sin. So how about this? If you stay away, we'll give you a title shot on Saturday night. And then Harley closes it by saying, the itsy bitsy spider gets taken out by Big Stat Daddy. It was a good line. It was
good for her. Yeah, it was good for her Stat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Then we got John Moxley and Ace Austin. And I'm fast forwarding the entrances, and then I realized Renee's talking. And then it dawned on me, Does she only talk during Jon Moxley matches?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no. She did for one before that wasn't Mox.
Now I think maybe part of the reason is, and if it wasn't Mox, it was probably like another Death Rider. And the reason is because their entrances are so long that they probably, because they have more time when they're doing it. So I didn't catch what she said. She was talking about Ace Austin and how he wants to prove himself or something.
He's the newest member of the Bang Bang Gang.
Who is Renee?
No, Ace Austin.
Oh, I thought he was like 3 months ago.
Yes, but sometimes we have to remind people when they're not on TV, and he's never been on Dynamite.
So did he get a graphic that says Ace Austin is all Bang Bang?
No, I don't know.
All right. So it's a title eliminator match. If Austin wins or goes 20 minutes, he gets a title match. Very early on, he tried some sort of a dive off the middle ropes, but he kind of fell, and he recovered quickly, which was good. Then I noticed his legs are enormous.
Yes,
he's put on about 15 pounds of upper body strength since he's been in TNA. This guy's on the Kyle Fletcher workout plan.
He's on the anti-Rick Rude plan, where Rick Rude never worked out his legs. He only works out his legs.
His upper body's getting pretty big too. So and he knows. He knows.
You think he's saying his prayer as in eating his vitamins?
Yeah, okay. So we'll see what happens with him. The crowd was into this, and they were dueling chants for Moxley and "Let's go Moxley, let's go Ace." The fans got into his comeback. Tony Schiavone brought up that he's a 3-time former world tag team champion, so I guess they're counting TNA belts. Then Mox was beating on with punches. Then he missed a charge to the post. Austin hit a Kamagiri. Then he went for another move, and Mox hit him with a cutter in midair. Then he hit a Death Rider, and he got the pin. So it was longer than I made it sound. Like it went through a commercial break, probably like 10 or 12 minutes, and good match for Austin. Probably won't see him again for another 3 months if you're only watching Dynamite, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's back to Collision for a couple of matches where he wins, and then we're not going to see him on Dynamite for a while. You
know what's funny on Collision? They also explained, it's so funny. They showed a video package for Ace Austin, and then they explained that he was supposed to be in this next match, but travel issues prevented him from getting to the building. So instead, what's his name? Austin Gunn is going to team up with Billy Gunn to face Pro Tashita. Austin and Billy, who have been feuding for years.
Yes. No, that's what Renee was explaining on this was that he was supposed to be the travel issues, et cetera, et cetera.
But they never explained when and how Billy and Austin made up. I just remember them breaking into his house, and and the TV was on, and it just happened to be airing Dynamite while they broke into the house.
Austin, who drove you to the arena? My dad's here. Oh, well, have him suit up. Go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, couldn't have just made it a singles match, eh? Mm-hmm. All right. So out comes Takeshita, and he gets in there with Mox. They brought up that he beat him in the group stage of the Continental Classic. I like reminding us of matches that happened years ago, or in this case, it was months ago. He wanted a title shot. They have an off-mic conversation. Mox says, "I remember getting beat. I got 3. You got 3 points." And Takeshita made the belt motion. Then Mox gets attacked from behind by Davis and Doyle, and they laid him out. And they started posing and making mean faces. And notable, nobody came out to save Mox. Announcers didn't point it out. I don't know if that was a plot hole or if it was a plot point. I'm not sure which. I guess we'll find out.
I'm guessing it's the latter, given the Wheeler Yuta segment later.
Yeah, could be. Then we got El Clone and Mark Briscoe TNT title match. So there was something in this match that pissed me off more than anything I've seen on Dynamite in I don't know how long. And we'll get to it. Well,
okay.
So they had some good action before the break. Nothing much happened. Don Callis was on commentary. So they put up a graphic that said the winner of this match is going to defend the title on Saturday. But they had like small writing, and I'm like, I couldn't read it. I rewound and I paused it and I went up to the TV, and it didn't say who. Like they just said they're going to defend. So
Do you need everything explained to you, Paul? What?
Yeah, well, the stupid thing is, why'd they even put this up there? Because Mark Briscoe was just going to put up the title in an open challenge right after this segment. So they didn't even need to put that graphic up there. But anyways, Briscoe did a dive on the clone on the outside. He almost landed in the crowd. Crowd's chanting, "Dem boys." Callis said, "Shouldn't that word start with TH and not D?" And, he popped Excalibur a little bit with that one. By
the way, Taz was terrible tonight. For all the praise I gave him last week, he reverted right back to "But I digress" Jones.
Yeah, where's Danielson, by the way?
Was he there the first match, or did I?
No, he's gone. He doesn't.
He doesn't travel because of his neck.
He's probably on his way to Saudi Arabia. No, I'm just kidding. Jeez. He went for redneck kung fu, but Clone blocked it. Then they closed on each other. Both went down. There's where Callis started riding on Nana. He said he Swerve's weak spot tonight. And then Briscoe suplex Clone. Callis put it over. Oh, that was a hell of a suplex. Then he hit another one. Went up for Froggy Bow. He hit it. Only got 2. I'm like, wow, that was unusual. Okay. Then he hits the perfect J driller right in the middle of the ring. I think, okay, that's it. Clone sells this move like he's Road Warrior Hawk. What the fuck was this? This is what I'm talking about.
I forgot this, and it should have pissed me off too, because I hate these. It's what is it?
That always wins for Briscoe. You just killed his finisher. So he no-sells it. I guess he's winning, right? No, he gets pinned by a roll-up 30 seconds later. Why did they do this?
Like, I must not have been paying attention at this point. I really did like the Clone spot with the chair. I thought that was cool, but no, guys that size should not be no-selling things like J drillers and pile drivers.
Maybe the match is going to go another 5-10 minutes, and he's going to get a false finish. Maybe he's going to win, but no.
Clone
he goes for a proto bomb, and Briscoe rolls him up and gets the pin. What the fuck?
He turned his neck. William Regal taught him how to turn his neck.
No, he did not. He bounced up like he was on a trampoline. Bounces up and lands on his feet. Oh my God, this was so bad. Like, who okayed this? That finisher's been protected. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about, I'm not Stone Cold saying, why do people not sell the DDT anymore? Blah, blah. This is his finisher. This was Clone.
No, you're being too hard on him. He watched watched a New Japan tape.
Yeah.
And said, I can do that.
Oh my God. This was bad. So he wins. That's it. El Clone's undefeated streak is over. I think he got to 3-0. So Briscoe does a promo. Says, we're back in Texas on Saturday night, and I love me an open challenge. So again, why did they put that graphic up 5 minutes ago? He says, no one from the Don Callis family. All right. I'm tired of them all. And, but anyone else, Saturday night, Arlington, Texas, TNT title on the line. The lights go out. And again, you're never quite sure. Did they have power failure or something?
Sabu?
Yeah. And then we see a beating heart on the screen. That should have been the clue, actually. But then we hear my shadow knows my story. And this music starts, and there's less than 0 reaction to this music. And then all of a sudden, Psycho Killer comes up on the screen, and then you get a reaction. Yeah. It's not a massive pop because they're doing a wide shot of the entrance, and you see this little man in the middle of the stage, and you there's no way this is Ciampa. Like, you think it's probably Ciampa because it's Psycho Killer, but
I'm gonna say something that might piss some people off right now.
Okay.
But Ciampa came out and he did the arms out like this. I go, oh God, this is the new Jericho character.
Oh man.
they're gonna debut him right before Rumble just to take the steam off. And I thought that for at least until Psycho Killer came up. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was Jericho's new character.
Fernando likes the entrance music. I don't hate it. Like Jeff, you said you didn't like it. I think I'll get used to it. I have no opinion right now.
It's also one of those things where I mean it's my PWG brain where I was there.
There you go.
Like
you're waiting for Psycho Killer, yeah.
I was waiting for Psycho Killer, yeah.
It's such a great entrance song too. So he comes out and I wrote down they have history in ROH. I think the announcers mentioned it as well. He stared down Briscoe. Fans are chanting, "Holy shit." A couple fans were chanting "Psycho Killer." And Ciampa kissed him on the cheek and walked away. I think he said off mic, I'm coming for that belt or something.
Yeah.
And it was a good debut. And I think a legitimate, holy shit moment. Like, I don't think there are too many people that knew about this.
No, I think it's a definite positive too. I like that they didn't say it on social media before. And I like that Fightful didn't report it either. So I was
and sometimes we hear, somebody that sometimes gives me this information ahead of time said that he knew about it.
Okay.
But thankfully he didn't spoil it. So I appreciated that. He didn't tell me. So that's good. Then we go backstage with Renee, and she's with Kyle Fletcher. And before she gets a chance to talk to him, Okada shows up. And he does this whole promo in English. And I managed to write it all down. He says, "Kyle, a few weeks ago, you told Don that someone needs to say something to me, but I need to say something to you. When I took the screwdriver, I wasn't thinking. I just wanted to win. I wanted you to win too. I wanted to face you in the finals so the Continental title would stay in the family. But I did not mean to hurt you. So I ask you here today so I could tell you that I'm sorry." And Fletcher says, "Look, Okada, I was really mad at you after World Ends, but it takes a big man to come out here and admit his own faults. So because of that, I accept your apology." Okada offers a hand. Kyle shakes it, and that's it. They walk away. Renee's like, okay. I'm
all right. Let me ask you something. Did you think any of the following bits were going to make its way into this promo? Either Okada doing the "I'm so sorry" type thing, or the middle finger.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting something.
Yeah.
And instead we got sincere, almost babyface Okada.
I think we've pivoted again, and I think Takeshita's now out, and I think Okada's staying.
I think Takeshita and Fletcher are gonna dump Okada.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I do. But I don't know, because now Okada's coming off sympathetic. He was a big man. He apologized.
No, there has to be something shady with this with Okada.
I don't know. I mean, we got the Bucks going back to their roots, so
right. But we also got the Kyle forgave him. Why don't you forgive him? Type thing. So they're also
we did get that. We did get that later. Yeah.
No, that's what I said. But I mean, we are setting up, and Kyle didn't look too happy about it either. Which is
Kyle's not happy with Don right now. You can tell that. Yeah. I don't think Kyle
you might be right on this Omega thing, and he's dumping those three and taking Omega back. And
I don't think Kyle is too happy about being pigeonholed into the TNT title. I mean, Don might as well have told him, "You know what? Jake Doyle's hurt. We're putting the band back together. You and Mark Davis, Aussie Open."
Oh God!
Someone in the Discord suggested that and wants it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't say that. I was trying to be polite. I think that might be a step back for Kyle. Well, it shouldn't be. It's tag team wrestling.
No, he's in a holding pattern now. He should be in this top tier group.
He should. He absolutely should. Speaking of the top tier group, out comes MJF, and he's got a mic, and he says, "I just got to be honest, Taz, why are we working at a dump like this?" He says, "This place sucks." And people are booing. He's like, "The champ's speaking, so we listen." And then before he can get his promo started, out comes Brody King.
Stop.
Okay.
When this happened,
what?
I felt like what I said last week.
Oh, okay.
They heard that.
Yeah.
And they went, "All right. Let's piss Jeff off right now."
Yeah. Because he comes out, he's dressed, he's wearing a nice big white pullover, white pants. And his music's playing, and MJF's like, no, cut his music, cut the music. Fans are barking, stop the barking. And then he says to him, "You think with big ass ears like that you'd be able to listen, but you're as deaf as you are big and stupid." And then Brody rushes the ring, and And then MJF's like, oh, wait, time out. And he backs off. He kind of gets out of the ring. And then he says, these idiots can bark all they want, but when are you going to be a professional? He says, are we going to speak like men? And then Brody like nods. He's like, all right. So he gets back in. Fans are chanting Brody. And MJF, ever the people pleaser, says, listen up, bark boy. Okay, last week I made it very clear. If you want a shot at the best wrestler in the world and his title, you need to beat someone that matters. But you're following me around like a lost puppy. Well, that makes sense because you follow around Malachi Black like that too. You guys were all spooky like that. You turn lights on and off. Then when he left, you start following around Buddy Matthews, a name that strikes fear into the hearts of his opponents. How's his ankle doing, by the way? I think this is a tell. I think he's coming back at Grand Slam, but we'll see. And he says, oh, right. I don't give a shit. He says, now you follow around a guy that's a complete loser like all these idiots in the crowd named Bandito. I got an idea, Broadster. Maybe you follow me around. Maybe I'll pay you handsomely. You're big, tall, dangerous, talented. I could use a guy like you. But we got to fix that aesthetic. Never in my mind have I met a liberal man that looks more like a Nazi. Brody chuckled at that one. He's like, but we can fix this, bud. We'll get you a nice suit, a scarf like this one. This whole pipe dream you have of winning this world title and beating me, it's cute, but it's a pipe dream. The reality of the situation is, Brody, that in order to be the champion of the world, in order to beat the champion of the world, you need to be a leader like me. And you, my friend, just like all these schmucks in attendance here, are nothing more than a follower. So Brody gets a mic, crowd starts barking. Says Max. Now he did have a little bit more emotion here than he had last week.
Here's okay. Now I gotta give my notes.
Okay,
real quick.
Yeah,
this was all right, Brody. Go out there and do your best. I'm clever like Kenny promo, and it's a complete 180 from being intimidated. This is, oh, I've got a plan, Brody King, and I'm just like, okay, it feels like being miscast a bit, but we're going. Look, I'm not. This was better than last week, which is a low bar to cross. But this is something I don't want to see out of Brody King. I don't think, he says with a very high octave in his voice. I don't. It came off as weird to me. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, given what you just said, and I was thinking about this, I was watching this. If I'm scripting this segment,
okay,
Max is throwing out his last insult. Brody gets a mic, and he goes up to him and he says, "Are you done?" And then Max is like, whatever. No. Are you done? And then he's like, "What do you got to say?" And then Brody just hauls off and levels him, drops the mic, and he says, "I got a match with you next week. Buckle up, buddy." And then
no, I would have even gone. Sure, I would have gone. I got a match with a contender. You,
and then levels him. Like, don't just hit him. Hit him.
I don't even need the hitting. I need the hitting.
I need the hitting. I'm like Mazanin. Okay. I need people that hate each other.
Okay, I like the people who hate each other. God, that was such a good promo. But I want MJF to kind of be thrown for a loop. What do you mean, me? I'm not a contender. I'm the champion. No, I'm fighting you next week. Eliminator. See you there. And then hit him. Then he can hit him.
Exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, he says, Max, first off, I don't need to follow anyone. What you just described is something that we call friends. Something that you in your entire life have never had, obviously. And there were some fans chanting brochachos. Last Wednesday, you said, I haven't beaten anyone credible enough to challenge you. You know what? You're right. So I sat down with Tony Khan and I thought, who'd be the best challenger that could prepare me for a world title shot? And you know who we came up with? You. Max is like, what? He's like, try to follow me, Max. Next week, we have an eliminator match, and when I beat you, I will earn a title shot at Grand Slam Australia, where I will become the leader that this company needs. Woof, woof, woof.
Thanks,
that was
bro.
That was that.
It was better than last week. It's one of these things where, and he's going to have a groundswell of the guys who go, he really deserves it. He'd be a good champion. So
he's not. I don't think he's going to win next week.
No, I should. Oh, next week? I think he's winning next week, and he's fighting him in Australia.
I don't think he is.
Okay.
I think I think Max may end up fighting Buddy Matthews in Australia. But we'll see.
Oh, that's a good call if he's coming back.
Yeah. I don't know anything, but I think the fact that his name was mentioned might be a clue. Taz said that this was unfair, and Tony Schiavone said it was a blockbuster announcement. It was somewhere in the middle of those two opinions.
So let's just half it, okay?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Can we do the rewind a bit here?
Sure.
Okay. So the MJF's first part of the promo, when he talked and he said, so when he says champ is speaking, so we listen. Brody King came out for a standby promo. Sorry, somebody fed me that line and I forgot to give it to you. So there we go. A little late.
It's a good line though.
It is a very good line. Shout out to AA Rocks. All right. Video package for the Bucks. I like this. They're showing a lot of highlights, and they say humility helped us. Power trips take you nowhere. Now it's time to go back to our old roots. Tassels, super kick parties. This goes out to the entire tag team division. You're all on notice, and it starts in Las Vegas. We're going back to doing what made the Young Bucks. Tag team division, you are cordially invited to a super kick party. And then they gave the old double super kick to the cameraman, and that was that. It was cool.
I liked this, and I was trying to think what's a teaser like this that I've seen before that kind of envelops this type of thinking. And the opposite side of the coin I was thinking, and I don't know if you remember this promo from like 1990, 91, the Arn Anderson and Barry Windham one in the junkyard in black and white where they have sledgehammers.
I may not have seen it.
It's when they're feuding with Doom, and they're talking about how.
I definitely didn't see it. Yeah,
I will forward it to you because it's all about talking about how like the Horseman lifestyle had made them soft.
Okay,
and they're gonna go back to their roots of being bad men and stuff, and it's really cool. And I thought it was the opposite side of this coin.
Cool. Well, I think that we're gonna get. This is obviously starting the push for the Young Bucks. If I had to put money on it, I'd say they're probably winning the tag team titles at All In. Just a guess.
Oh.
All right.
Not Christian and Copeland, huh?
Maybe not. I mean, it could be Revolution. That's in Los Angeles, so it's possible. It could, you never know what speed WW or AEW is working at with these angles. Sometimes they're doing stuff for like 2 years from now, and sometimes they're doing stuff for next week. Like you just never know. So next up was the AEW Women's World Title match. Tekla and Chris Statlander. Sadly, we did not get our wish here.
No.
So the crowd was like super into this, and by the end of the match, like they were 100% behind Tekla. I mean, it started out there was some like light "Let's go check Tekla" chants at the beginning, and by the end, like when she was doing her heel heat, they were chanting for her. And then I think Statlander like blocked something at one point and hit a move, and they cheered when Tekla kicked out, and they booed when Statlander kicked out. Like it was something else. But I mean, she's so freaking cool. So yeah, I mean, they did a bunch of stuff before the break. It was good action before the break, and then they come back. Tekla's doing the upside down thing on the ropes, and she threw Statlander picked her up and threw her into the top turnbuckle. Then she hit a Death Valley Gyre for 2. Tekla kicked her head off while she was draped in the ropes, posing. She missed a dive. Statlander hit a clothesline, pulled her over to the corner. She went to the top. Tekla got up, slapped her off of it. Then she dropped and sat across from her and nailed a forearm. Then she hit a spider suplex, which is a freaking cool move, and hanged from the turnbuckle. This is where Taz called her Black Widow Jones. Then Tekla hit a dive to the outside, which was great. And they even showed a replay from a different angle, which looked even better. Rolled her into the ring. This is where the fans were like totally that dive churned the crowd. Like this is where they started going nuts for her. She hit a spear. Then they traded forearms from their knees, and then they got to their feet. And then right when Tekla was about to throw an arm, instead she spat at her, which was great. Statlander went for a tiaras, but Tekla grabbed her arm and snapped it back. And this is where I thought she was going to win. She stomped her and only got a 2. Then she did the Bray Wyatt walk. Stat hit a super kick. She went for Night Fever, but Tekla reversed it in a roll-up. And even then, I thought it might be a finish. Then she avoided a lariat. Stat went for a power bomb, hit it, Then she hit the Saturday Night Fever and got the win. And sadly, that's it for Tekla. She disappeared.
Well, we enjoyed it while it lasted.
Yeah.
I'd love her to death, though. She's just such a crazy woman. I
had her winning here, and eventually this would have been what would get Toni Storm back in the world title picture, and you build to Tekla and Toni at All In.
Okay, I thought for certain when they had the 3 women come out and whatever, I thought Mercedes was going to make a drop out here.
Oh, no, I think it's too soon for that, unfortunately.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I think we're getting Mercedes and Toni at All In. I predicted that last year, actually. Like right after All In, I said these two do not touch until next year's All In, and they have a rematch. And Dave had said, oh, they should have had 3 or 4 matches by now. And I'm like, nope, you save that for next year. And it looks like that's what they're doing. So we'll see. So out come Harley and Willow. They congratulate her. They all celebrated. And then Penelope and Megan came out, and they stared at them. And the announcers, oh, what are they looking at? Maybe perhaps they're after the tag team titles. And I'm thinking maybe Megan's after the world title. So.
Yeah, I was trying to think, is there a third that's going to be for the solo? I thought maybe they'd go for the tag titles and then.
So the third, a lot of people are speculating Killer Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does nothing for me. She can team with Penelope, I guess, then.
Yeah. I think that was the group that people want her in. Anyway, there's rumors because she did not re-sign with TNA, so she, I believe, is a free agent right now.
Right.
Unless she's already signed and we just don't know it. Then we got a Callis family strategy session. He says it's time to mobilize the resources. We got to get all this gold home to daddy. Andrade, he's already declared for the AEW world title. I love how he used that word because I think he was playing off everybody declaring for the Royal Rumble.
Right.
He says he'll be one step closer after he defeats Swerve tonight. Okada, he's already the international champion, and they pan over to Keshta, and he's not happy about that. And he said, but Keshta, you beat Moxley before, and you're looking to do it again. The only thing keeping you from bringing home the title, home to the family, is you got to take Kyle's lead. You got to forgive Okada. And Takeshita was not happy with that plan. Kyle, you're synonymous with the TNT championship. Like Kyle gives him a look like, what are you talking about? So you look in the dictionary and your picture is next to the word TNT. So whatever happens between that ingrate Mark Briscoe and Ciampa, the way he said Ciampa with such disdain, Kyle Fletcher is waiting to bring that title home to the Callis family. And speaking of titles, Davis and Doyle are ready to squash FTR. And then he leaves, and Takeshita and Kyle are left alone. And Takeshita looks at me and says, you forgave Okada? And then Kyle says, Take, look. And then Takeshita just walks away, and Kyle is all forlorn, and he walks away in the opposite direction, and Renee is standing in the middle of it. Just, whatever. So yeah, that was that. Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll Callis is a little too I don't know what the word is. He's a little too full of hubris. I think he's heading for a downfall pretty soon. Babysitter turn coming soon? I think he means babyface.
Yes.
Maybe Don Callis' babysitter is going to turn on him, steal his kids. So next we got a Jack Perry video package. If you watch Collision, I think it was pretty much the same one. And he's challenging Ricochet. He's upset because they took out Luchasaurus, who worked so hard to get back, and now he's out again. And he says, so I'm going to take your title and everything you have. And then he threatens him with a knife. Hell of a babyface, this Jack Perry. And then this cuts right into...
And then we get the production error of the week here. Yeah. Because this is supposed to be a live look-in, and this is obviously taped.
Well, it said earlier today.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, it said earlier today on the screen. But it was weird because he's like... So he's got a camera, and he says, to all my frequent flyers, this is your captain speaking. We were supposed to hear from Jungle Jack Perry. We just did. But as you can see, he's a little preoccupied, and they pan, and Gates of Agony are holding him. And then right as the camera pans to him, he makes his own comeback, and Ricochet's panicking, but they took him over because they're two big, beefy men, and he's a little squirt. And then he says, Jack, what were you thinking when you tried to threaten me? GOA came. Oh, well, I'm saying this like it's his promo, but they just came back and beat on some more. He's like, "What were you thinking when you said you'd try and take my title?" And then he looks at the camera and says, "Sorry, doesn't seem like he's answering any questions today." I said, "See, Jack, this is what happens when you try and take what's mine." And they gave him a double power bomb through a table, and they left him for dead. And the camera just pans on his broken body, and that was that.
Jack took some hits on this one, and I liked this. I'm not sure if a button somewhere in there where Ricochet's going, "I'm a journalist," would have worked. But I wanted even Ricochet to play this up even a little bit more when Jack was like trying to attack, like, no, just answer the questions, sir. You know, that kind of thing. But I did like this a lot. I did.
Yeah. I don't want him to lose this title anytime soon. And it's not just because I don't like Jack Perry. This
is my favorite Ricochet run ever.
Oh yeah. I mean, I liked him in NXT. I liked him a lot in NXT.
I liked him in NXT, but he never had any personality or anything. He was just the guy that did great stuff, and like that's good, but that's not enough for me.
If WWE had any idea he had this in him, he would have been such a big star over there.
Dude, if you had teamed this Ricochet with The Miz,
or put him in Judgment Day,
like
in the Dom role, like, oh my god, with
flaky heel Ricochet would have gotten over.
Oh yeah,
WWE.
yeah. So next we got the tag team title match. It was Davis and Doyle against FTR, and so Stokely was on commentary in his wheelchair. Taz called him a warrior, and Shivani just blatantly just calling it bullshit. Crowd was chanting bald at Dax when he was in there with Davis. Davis and Doyle were kind of the de facto baby faces in this match. So
were they? I thought FTR was working babyface for the most part.
Well, they may have been working babyface, but the fans were into Davis and Doyle more. Like they were chanting every time they did anything, they were cheering. So, I mean, you know what? When you talk about working babyface and all that, I don't usually really notice that stuff. So.
Okay, there's a spot in this match that was like you and the Clone No Cell.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So we'll see if it comes up when I do my notes.
I'll try and remember it when you get to it.
So Cash did a dive to the outside at one point. See, this is where I thought they were baby faces, because he did a dive to the outside to take out Davis and Doyle. They caught him and they threw him into Dax. That was a cool spot. I mean, that's not a heel spot. And the crowd loved that. And then they went to break. They came back. The crowd was super into it. And Doyle, all of a sudden, for some reason, is bleeding from the forehead. I have no idea why. And Stoke.
Oh, because he caught the eye of Dax at one point with his head.
Oh, yuck!
And that's why Dax was bleeding. And I thought it was.
Oh, I see. I didn't even notice Dax bleeding. I noticed Dax had a lot of blood on him, and I just assumed it was Doyle's blood, but I guess it was his. So Stoke says they get pure pleasure from destruction. Talking about FTR there. Davis went for a top rope Rana, but Dax got out of it, hit a superplex, and then he hit Cash with the splash for a power and glory type move, and that got 2. Stoke. So when he at first I thought he said "come on, bald," but I think he said "come on, Paul," because the ref was Paul Turner.
Yes.
And, yeah. Okay. So here's where I noted that Dax was covered in blood from Doyle, and then I realized Jake Doyle. Jake Doyle's gone. He just disappeared. So I somebody said that he was holding his arm in a funny angle, so he may have hurt himself at some point. But he was gone for like the last couple minutes of this. And the crowd all of a sudden went silent. The match kind of fell apart a little bit. Davis made a comeback. Davis had a sleeper on Dax. He was trying to escape, started to go out. Then Cash starts motioning for help. And from the ramp, but then the Death Riders come in from the other side, and Moxley hit Davis with the belt, and then they hit the Shatter Machine and got the win. And like this last minute was just, I don't know what the hell was happening, but Death Riders are, I don't know if, I guess it's a babyface move when you attack heels, but it was weird.
I think we're supposed to think that they made a deal or something. No, the spot that angered me. Okay, they have Cash up on the top rope, and Jake something's up there on the top turnbuckle, and they're setting up for the for then Dax to come and shove him off or whatever it was.
Oh right, that spot. Okay.
they have it's the crane camera, which is down and the entire ring is being shown. And Mark Davis is just taking a knee and watching everything.
Okay, yeah. Oh, they do this way too much. Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I'm like, okay, at least pretend you're tired or you're struggling to get up to get over there or something. But he doesn't. And then they break up the double team. And then all of a sudden, Mark Davis just gets up and runs over there. I just went, oh my God, that took me way out of the match. And I'm like, you got to be careful with those camera shots, guys. Or somebody has to tell Mark to stay in character the entire time. That to me was your clone no selling the pile driver thing.
And this is where the guys that came from the indies don't think about stuff like that.
Right.
And the producers of this show, unless they worked in WWE, and I don't think a lot of them are having like contact with the wrestlers, they're probably not telling them, hey, stay in character all the time, look up for the cameras.
You know that the camera's always on because you never know which one is catching you.
Yeah. So the match, I mean, it started out okay, but it kind of fell apart at the end. So at the end, I didn't think it was all that great.
I was trying to think of what was a comparable type of match that I had seen, like in my thing. It almost felt like Brainbusters and Demolition a little bit, maybe Brainbusters and Road Warriors a little bit, but the Road Warriors were always de facto baby faces, whereas Demolition were kind of there. But yeah, it was a weird vibe. I liked it though. I'd like to see them do it a couple more times though.
Yeah, no, I liked the vibe until the match fell apart. And then, and I think it probably had a lot to do with Doyle's injury. And hopefully he's okay, but we'll probably find out, by tomorrow. So, and then FTR rolled Stoke up the ramp and they were celebrating with the belts and Mox just kind of shook his head at him. And that was that. So
I was again waiting for another Callis family, somebody attacks Stoke in the wheelchair or for Stoke to get up from the wheelchair and cost Doyle and Davis the match. I was waiting for one of those.
Yeah, I think that's obviously coming at some point, but I think when he eventually gets out of the wheelchair, it's probably
a pay-per-view spot. Yeah.
And it's going to be like Beth Copeland is going to show up and do something to him probably. Mm-hmm. Then we got Renee. Oh, this segment. Fuck.
It takes a lot to break Paul, guys. You gotta understand.
You know what? I do a pretty good job of recapping. Like I can do an MJF promo and get it almost word for word. And he says a lot of words. I don't know what the hell happened in this promo. Renee's with Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
What? So she says, I want to talk to you about the ongoing saga with the Death Riders and specifically Wheeler Yuta. And then Orange goes into this. And part of this is I'm baffled because Orange Cassidy normally doesn't say much and he'll say like one word or two. And he just goes into like he's like talking like a normal person. He's like, look at him 5 years ago. Look at him now. He's unrecognizable. His hair is too long to be cool and it's not short enough to be. And then he gets interrupted and Wheeler interrupts him and he says, oh, so now we're insulting personal appearances. Should I get a Canadian tuxedo like you? And then Marina shows up, starts rubbing her fingers through her hair. Then Tony shows up and she starts like getting jealous, I guess. And refers to Orange Cassidy as Citrus Boy. And then Marina says something in Belarusian or whatever nationality she is. And then Tony doesn't understand it. She says, would you like more milk or should I get your girlfriend some more flowers? And then Tony said shit for some reason and then danced away with Orange Cassidy. And Renee was flustered. And I wrote, there's way too much going on here. And I think I probably missed 75% of what happened there.
Yeah, it was poorly mic'd because they were using the boom mic. And then
they could have saved this for a collision.
You can tell me that the plan is Tony and Mercedes, but you got to heat Tony up some. I think.
I mean, clearly
cold.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's All In's a long way away. So I mean, I'm not worried about that. Like when they need to heat her up, they can heat her up.
Yeah, I hate this feud.
This tag team with Mina is not working. And
it's not, and her and the conglomeration threesome angle isn't working.
Is not working at all. Yeah. No. Oh, that was so. The thing was the secret admirer with the flowers. That was somebody. A few people I've seen have speculated that that's going to be Killer Kelly, and then the flowers to Mina. But they kind of dropped that. I mean, they did it once, and we haven't even. I mean, tonight was the first time we even heard about it. So maybe they remembered the angle. Okay, so then we got the main event, which was Andrade versus Swerve. Don Callis was on commentary. He said that Nana should be banned for lack of use. And he also said there's not a lot of guys he could stretch out there, but Nana is high up on that list, and he called him useless. It's just in my glory. I love heel managers feuding with each other. That takes me back to WCW, Mid-Atlantic. Yeah. Crowd was chanting for Idolo, which surprised me, but then again, he's so freaking cool, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. They're chanting AEW. They pointed out, I love this, that Andrade beat Danielson in the Cruiserweight class or the Continental Classic in 2023, and Swerve has never beaten Bryan Danielson. So that's why you do these matches, and that's why you remind people of it, because not everyone's Tony Khan and remembers all this shit. Tony Schiavone told us. Sorry. Tony Schiavone said there's one more break left to take, and we're going to take this match as far as we can. Andrade goes to a plant in the front row. He did this on Collision as well, but it was different.
This is the same one. No, isn't this the same one?
I don't think it was. The woman on Saturday had way bigger boobs. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I don't think this was the same woman, unless she was
okay. Because
maybe she had a push-up bra on last time, but I thought it was a different woman.
I thought that this was the same woman, and I thought this is going to be the new Zelina. They just want to run this act.
Okay. Type of thing. I just got the sense it was going to be like who it was. Remember, was it Berto that used to do this in WWE? Or no, Angel Garza. Remember he used to, and then
the pants.
Yeah, he'd always find whatever woman was on Dynamite that week in the crowd and do an angle with her. You remember that? That was so funny. Yeah, you'd have a woman.
I think you might be right. I think I want to say that the woman from Collision was.
She was an indie worker.
Was that Daddy Doom, who was also in an MJF sketch at one time?
Right. Yeah.
With her.
This woman was not the same. Very similar looking. Like facially, they look the same. But yeah, we'll find out. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyways, he does a selfie with her, and then she pulled her number out of her bra, and he put it in his pants. Someone in the Discord asked, "Did she just carry her number in her bra in case somebody asked for it?" And I'm like, if you look like that, you're probably not leaving the house without your number. A few.
You probably have six of them in there, probably.
Yeah. And he's put it in his pants. I didn't hear this, but apparently the fans were chanting, "Take off your pants" at Andrade, but he never did. No. They announced for Collision, Babes of Wrath against Sisters of Sin. Darby Allin is wrestling against Clark Connors, of all people. Rascals against the Crew. They've been setting that up the last couple of weeks. And Mark Briscoe and Tommaso Ciampa. Oh, Rascals, by the way, they did a promo on Collision. You know, those three dudes probably said their name like 5 times each in their 2-minute promo, and said the name of their faction, and said the name of the guys they were feuding with, because those guys are pros.
Yes,
and they know how to do a promo.
You know how to do your opening scene. Say the name 3 or 4 times so everybody remembers you.
People make fun of the Netflix thing, but you know what? Netflix is probably like one of the most successful companies in the world. They know what they're doing. So Swerve put Andrade on the guardrail. Andrade gave him a back body drop, and then he crotched himself. Juice did not quite meet the squeeze on that one. They teased the count out. They got back in at 9. Then they do the yay boo spot, but no one is chanting yay or boo. I thought that was hilarious. I can't remember the last time I've seen that. Where they're doing boom, waiting for the yay, and nobody did it. So then they just moved on. Swerve hit a near fall. I missed what he did, but it was like a great near fall, and the crowd totally bit on it. And Excalibur said Andrade kicked out on instinct. Swerve went to the top. Crowd chanting, "This is awesome." Andrade hit him with a top rope reverse Rana. He fell into the opposite corner. Andrade hit the double knees, only got a 2. Then Andrade didn't do the NXT kickout phase. He just pounced right on him, hit the DDT. Swerve rolled out of the ring. Nana's jumping up and down. Callis is furious at Aubrey. Swerve did a jackknife cover for 2. Went for big pressure, but Andrade rolled him up. Swerve kind of hit a house call, but I actually think he missed it. And I think he was supposed to miss it, like Andrade ducked it, but the announcers sold it like he hit it. It was really weird because he clearly missed it. And then Andrade pushes the ref, which distracts her. And while she's distracted, he hits a low blow. Then he hits what they call the DM, which is kind of like a sidearm DDT, and got the pin, and kind of a shocking pin. I think most people were expecting Swerve.
It was shocking, but I liked it.
I loved it.
I liked it for two reasons. Number one, it keeps the Kenny Andrade feud that was first set up with his entrance, and makes sense of that. And also, if Swerve's actually going heel, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I will say, as of last week, clearly they were setting up an MJF Swerve program, because you had MJF in the skybox watching the match.
Yes.
I feel like at some point in the last week, Tony pivoted because of the reaction that Andrade was getting, and thought, you know what, we got to do this.
That Saturday match may have swayed him.
Yeah, and then we've got Andrade Kenny, which was, I mean, clearly they were going to do that at some point, so you might as well do it now. And so good for him. He's getting an opportunity. He's making the most of it. Guy's so freaking cool. Like Dave said, this is the best presentation of him since La Sombra.
I like the black mask look. I do. From
I like the NXT with Zelina. Yeah. Like that was great.
That was good too.
Yeah. So, but no, this is outstanding.
This is great, but it also is another problem though, because if Tony's viewing him for possibly babyface turning with the rip your pants off stuff and the woman, okay, so now we have possibly 3 members of the Callis family turning babyface at once.
Yeah, well, that is an issue. So what I absolutely loved, and this is like maybe my favorite thing on this whole show, and I like this show. The match was over, and normally, it's AEW, like, and we're already past the top of the hour here, so I mean, they could have just ended the show. And normally, you just end the show. You do a banger match, everybody talks about how great it was, and show's over. We got reaction here. They go to the back, and MJF is there, and he says, they ask him about Andrade, and he says, that guy's just a spoiled bag of milk with Sharpie written all over it. He thinks he can win the world title. It's not happening. And then he's interrupted by Kenny Omega. And Kenny says, Max, where are my manners? One more week, one more win, and then I'll see you for that title at Revolution. So here's to a future title match. He puts out his hand, and MJF shook him off, and he walked away. And as he's walking away, he runs into Andrade. The crowd popped, bigger than they popped for Kenny, mind you. And he says, I want to slap you right now, but first I want this title. And then he walks away. MJF is even more pissed off now. Crowd's chanting Idolo. And then Max starts walking out of the building, and the camera's following him. Like, what am I watching? Like, I've never seen this on AEW. And they follow him. He gets into a car, and he's about to open the door, and a hand reaches from behind, and there's Hangman Page. So he's after this belt too. And he motions for him to get in. And MJF is like, gets in, and he's like, screams, drive the car, go. And his car sped away like
in the ice, which I'm like, oh my God,
it's going 90 man. In this parking lot. Like, it's just, I've never seen a car take off this fast. And then the camera like hung on Hangman for an uncomfortably long period of time.
Well, no, but it could have followed Hangman. Where this is very much like a movie from the early 90s called Slacker by Richard Linklater, which would follow one person throughout and then it would eventually another person would come in to do the scene, and then would follow that person around until it jumped to somebody else. I liked this a lot. It was very Slacker though. That's all I could think of watching this.
Yeah, Hangman's like reaction at the end was a little put on. Like, you could have even had someone else, Kenny, Andrade, Swerve, show up, and then that's how you close it.
I kind of wanted Max to get more and more frustrated. He gets Kenny, and then he gets Idolo, and then when Hangman closes it, come on.
Yeah, gets in the car and swerves in there.
Yeah,
yeah. Where to, Max?
Oh God, no. Swerve with like the chauffeur cap and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I liked it. I just love it. And I mean, the whole thing with this is, and I've been saying this ever since MJF won the title, I love the fact that you got multiple people, all the top guys are after this belt. And that's, I mean, you need that. And when Hangman had the belt, it was whoever he was feuding with, and everyone else was off doing their own thing.
No, it was good, but I'm gonna take a step back. It should have ended with Brody.
Oh, okay.
See you next week.
He's got the match next week.
Yeah, just say see you next week, and that's the perfect button. And then that sets up the match for next week, and we want more. Man.
I think the Brody thing, though, and part of it is because of what you just said. I think that's just a sidebar. Like, I don't.
Okay.
I know you.
Well, it can be, but you have to treat it as important so that the audience believes that he has a chance at.
Well, this is very much like when he had the match with Bandito, and meanwhile he's setting up all these other matches, and everyone complained like, "Well, why do I care about Bandito now?"
No, that's true.
And next week, really, I mean. Yeah, MJF's facing Brody, but the important match next week is Kenny and Andrade. Like for me. And I love that too. Like we got multiple matches set up for next week that are well built up. Last week we had a great card. This week, this card was stacked going in. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you liked it is up to you. Some of the matches under-delivered a little bit, but they promoted it really well. And the matches were all big matches. You had 3 title matches, you had a title eliminator, and you had Kenny Omega doing a singles match. And then you had that main event with 2 top contenders trying to move on for the world title. I mean, can't ask for more in terms of, build up. So yeah, I thought it was a really good show.
I did too.
Yeah. All right. So that is that. And we got something to plug.
Yeah. Rob McCarron had some minor surgery. I believe hernia. It went well, but he is convalescing. He will be recording some audio on his own. But Paul's coming over to be a guest at my house, as I've been a guest at his house for all these Wednesdays. We'll be doing Shake Them Ropes tomorrow. We'll be previewing the Royal Rumble. Yes, Saudi Arabia actually gets an important pay-per-view finally. And I think they're going to go all out for it, and just talk about whatever happened. Might be a lazy river style thing, but we'll preview Royal Rumble. We may talk a little NXT. We may go back to Dynamite. I watched the Raven documentary. I can talk a little bit about that too, but that will probably drop either late Thursday or early Friday on your podcatchers.
I watched 2 GCW shows today. Do I get to talk about those?
If you want to, you can.
I don't care. Although I did like that Thomas Shire dude that I sent you a picture of. And for me, I got that obviously. And then I think Saturday, I don't know if I'm doing Wrestling Observer Radio with Brian and Dave. Garrett's off this weekend. Well, he's doing the show with Dave on Friday, but he's off of the Saturday Observer. So, but I got to work it out because I want to watch the Royal Rumble, and I've also got plans with my wife. We're supposed to go see a movie. So sometimes there's just too much to do in one day, and I may not be able to do Wrestling Observer Radio. So if that's the reason why, it's probably been my choice and not theirs, just to let everybody know. If I don't show up,
I'll do it. Tell them I'll come in. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll bring it up.
I don't know much about UFC anymore, but I can do it.
Well, that's okay. I never have. So, and then I'll be probably doing a takedown with Garrett, because I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about coming out of the Royal Rumble and even this Ciampa news. And I have a feeling we might see Royce Keys this weekend too. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So for Jeff Hawkins, I've been Paul Fontaine, and this has been the Dynamite Show.